Hi, this is Tom Hanneman here again. Thank you very much for joining me. This is another video on transforming a resume from a document that was not really enabling a person to secure interviews for the kinds of roles that they were seeking and for which she was very well qualified and had all of the experience, expertise, and tertiary education needed and required in that kind of role. So what I'd like to do, first of all, is share my screen to have a look at her original resume. Now, this resume that she sent me had not been leading to interviews for the kinds of roles that she was interested in and for which she was well suited. Now, the About Me section is not actually too bad, but it does contain too many generic buzzwords like positive and enthusiastic and building relationships and quality-oriented, deadline-driven, level of pride, integrity, credibility, all of those things. Now, sure, those are attributes that are obviously going to be highly valued by organizations, but they are just generic buzzwords at the end of the day, and they don't really add too much value. Of course, people should have credibility and integrity and all of those things. But what they really want to know in the about me or profile section of your resume is what it is they're going to be getting. And the second and third paragraphs, or the second paragraph certainly does more of that. And she's also talked about that she likes renovating houses and so forth. Now, there is some relevance here because that's helped her develop her project management skills and controlling budgets and priorities and schedules, and managing contractors and adapting to changing conditions. So this is an example of where an outside interest is actually connected to the kinds of skills and attributes needed in the sorts of jobs that she's interested in. So if you are going to include your outside interests, connect them to the requirements of the job. And this person has actually done that. Now, the resume also needs or it does need a skills or areas of expertise section to link what she has to offer to what the employer is looking for in a candidate for the kinds of role that she's interested in. Now, she's got a standalone key achievements section. The issue with this is that recruiters tend not to like a standalone achievements section because they're often out of context. It requires them to go backwards and forwards and, to ask the question, well, where did she achieve that? What was the job? When did this happen? So recruiters typically prefer to see achievements incorporated underneath each role. They want to know what you did for which organization and in which job and when. So it just makes the recruiter's life a little bit easier if that's something that you want to do, and I do suggest that you try and do that. Now, recruiters also want to understand the purpose, significance, impact, and implications of what you do, and these are not provided. So we've got, presenting progress reviews, managing a multidiscipline, et cetera, supporting the business analyst team, supporting an in-flight review. All of these things are processes or tasks or responsibilities. So what she hasn't done here is indicate what she contributed, the value that she added, the benefits of what she did, challenges and problems that she overcame, and so on and so forth. So in a resume, what's important is to connect the dots for the reader, because there's a pretty good chance that they will not do it themselves. So they're the main issues, and as it turned out, these are the these are the contributions to her not getting interviews for the kinds of roles that she was really looking for and well qualified. So let's have a quick look at the after version of her resume. This is what we transformed it into, and let's have a look. There we go. So crisper, cleaner, easier to read, more modern style, more modern approach, more, nicer format, and so on and so forth. So the visual appeal of a resume is indeed quite important, because sometimes it can mean the difference between people wanting to stay with your resume and deciding, not to proceed with your application. And that's why it's worth spending a little bit of time on making sure that your resume is visually attractive. And her profile section, well, first of all, a headline, the words underneath her name, tell the reader what she is and the kinds of companies she's worked in. And the profile section is aligned with the requirements of the kinds of roles she wants, and articulates the value that she's offer, what she's known for, what her reputation is, and so forth. So all of the information contained in the profile section is relevant to the sorts of jobs that she's interested in. Same goes for the areas of expertise section. This section is directly related to the skills, experience, and other attributes required in the role. And that includes an MBA and a degree in mineral science. And in some of the ads of the sorts of roles that she's interested in, did specify they want someone with a degree in business and a degree in mineral science, and she's got those. And oftentimes you don't include your qualifications, but in cases where they are included, where they are important, include it in your areas of expertise section. And this also helps with the applicant tracking systems who look for keywords and influence decisions about whether a person will be taken forward in the selection process. Now, importantly, the areas of expertise section should be adapted and fine-tuned every time you apply for a job. This helps you with the applicant tracking software that's used by most recruitment firms and many large employers. Now, this person is going to be applying for jobs in large mining companies and related companies, and therefore they could very well be using applicant tracking software to help them reduce the number of candidates. Now, when it comes to talking about each of her roles, the focus of the role is clear, and it's important to provide a summary of the key elements or key priorities of her role. And the achievements, when you read them, you'll see that they clearly articulate the significance, impact, and benefits of her contributions, and leave the reader in no doubt about the value that she's added. And she's also demonstrated in her resume that she's able to overcome challenges and obstacles. And this is critical because every employer wants people who can overcome challenges and obstacles and achieve outcomes under difficult circumstances. They don't want fair weather sailors who can only get things done when the conditions are favourable. They want people who can overcome challenges and solve difficult problems. Now, going down to her MBA, her tertiary education, she did her MBA at a leading university, well recognised, well regarded, and we've included the results that she achieved: 3 high distinctions, 5 distinctions, 4 credits out of the 12 subjects she did. Now, this is important because many of the organisations she wants to join do ask for business degrees in addition to degrees in mineral science and so forth. And she's also now looking for management roles. So that means that how well she did in her MBA could be, a deal maker, particularly as she did it at a leading institution. And this positions her as a smart cookie with the intellectual horsepower needed in the jobs in which she is interested. So that concludes this treatment of the transformation of her resume. And as a result of doing this work and partnering with her, she was able to secure interviews for some great jobs in some pretty good, very good, in fact, organisations that are highly regarded and for which jobs are extremely competitive. And that's the issue with a lot of people, is that if you are competing against other well-qualified candidates who also meet the brief, what's important in your resume is to differentiate yourself from the other candidates. And that is much more likely to put you towards the top of the list when it comes to inviting people for interviews. So thank you again for your attention, for tuning in, for watching, listening. And I do hope that you get some value out of this video and others in the series. And of course, if you think that there could be some other people that you know who might be interested in this material and get some benefits from it, feel free to share the link to the video, and they will surely love you for it. In the meantime, until next time, thank you very much, and take care, be well, and enjoy whatever it is that you are doing. Bye-bye.